Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Moe, aka Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today I'm here with maybe quite a Christmas treat, even though we are still, of course, more than a month away. But this is Glenfarclas 25-year-old. It is 100% Oloroso sherry cask matured whiskey, and it's bottled at 43%. This wee sample here I'm getting from a subscription service called Whiskey Me, and if anyone's curious about it, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I do think it's quite a nice thing to get one of those little pouches every month, and you don't really know what you're going to get. But so far it's been some really good whiskies, and if you're curious to try them, I'm going to put my referral code up here on the screen so you can have a look at it, because I can't seem to remember what it is ever. So instead of saying the wrong thing, I'll just put it up. But yeah, it's a whiskey I haven't tried in a while. I mean, it's a 25-year-old, it's sherry matured, and Glenfarclas is of course a distillery up in Speyside. It was one of the first ever, I think it's the first distillery in Speyside I ever got to visit. And if you're curious about my visit to Glenfarclas, I'm going to put a link to the blog post in the section here below. But it's a very traditional and family owned and quite old-fashioned distillery. They still directly fire their stills, which not a lot of distilleries do still to this day. And yeah, of course, they're quite known for their sherried style, and not a lot of people really enjoy what they're doing. I feel like these are really good whiskies for maybe an after dinner treat, or maybe just as a welcome dram to a Christmas dinner. But yeah, we're gonna have a look on the nose and then see what we think. And before I forget, it retails at £125, I believe. Ooh, the nose is so intriguing. It's definitely sherried. It's like floral chocolate sweetness almost. It's like a dark chocolate with cherries, and then it's almost like a lavender scent. And a bit almondy, like roasted almonds. Yeah, floral, chocolatey and nutty, I think is what I would say it's on the nose. It's a little bit of that wood element, but the wood element is like underneath the other things, so they are... It's like you have these three different things, and then the wood is underneath, just tying them all together, so it feels very well-rounded. I mean, this an autumn or a winter evening, or maybe on Christmas Day, it's certainly a dram that draws you in and has a lot of layers that are very interesting. Let's have a little sip. Sláinte Skål. A lovely sherried flavour, I would say. It's a bit leathery on the palate. Leathery and a bit woody. And then on the finish you have this lovely, lovely sherry notes. It's this kind of nutty fruitiness that just lingers. A little bit of a dark chocolate bitterness as well. I would say it feels fruitier on the nose. On the palate it's more the floral notes, the leather and the oak, nutty, dark chocolate bitterness-esque character that comes out. But certainly a sitting in a Chesterfield, is that what they're called? Armchair, a leather armchair, in a library, sipping a whiskey for hours, that kind of dram. It's a very traditional whiskey. It is lovely flavours, I would say. It's definitely something for people that enjoy a bit of a sherry influence, or maybe a bit more than a little. Just, it's not sherry bomb punch in the face, but it definitely has a sherry influence that you can taste, and that's kind of the dominant character of it. But yeah, just someone who likes a traditional Scotch character, I would say. It's not too sweet on the palate, sweeter on the nose. And I think at 43 it's easy to sip as well. I think the more you get used to the alcohol, because this is the first dram of the day, you get a little bit of a sweetness, but the sweetness is like a fruity sweetness, so fructose sweetness, I can never say that word, entwined with a bitterness. So it feels like the sweetness and bitterness are very, very much the same character. They're not separate, so usually I would get like, oh, I get a fruity note, and then the sweetness belongs to the fruitiness. And even though this is a fruity sweetness, I do feel it goes hand in hand with the bitterness. They come at the same time. Instead of tasting one thing and then tasting another thing, they kind of come at the same time and you taste them entwined. A bit of a spice, but I think that dark chocolate, nutty, woody bitterness character to it also has a floral touch to it. And that's the dominant character. So if you like a woodier type of whiskey or something with a little bit of a bitterness to it, which makes it less sweet, I think this would be one that you would enjoy. Glenfarclas is such a fascinating distillery. And I know a lot of people have them as their favourite whiskey, so if you have Glenfarclas as your favourite distillery, please let me know in the comments below which one's your favourite. And I actually have a little sip left on my Glenfarclas 15, so I thought I'd just pour a little dram and then have a little taste and see if we can see any massive difference between them. Because there's 10 years between them, so yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, I feel like this 25 is a bit more floral and soft. The 15 is a bit more like, has a note of kind of burnt toast or maybe hazelnuts more. Let's have a sip. We'll go back to 25 and then we'll see the 15. Interesting, now that almost has like an oat note to it. But yeah, let's start with let's move on to the 15. Interesting. I think the 15 tastes more of Oloroso sherry, the actual sherry. The 25 is rounder and more floral, but the 15 has a lovely taste of sherry. So if you are a sherry drinker and you're looking for more of the sherry flavour coming through, I'd probably say the 15 is more a go-to. But if you're looking for a bit of more rounded notes, then maybe the 25. It's almost like the 25 has a little bit more of that dark chocolate, nutty, woody bitterness. Very interesting. I've not compared these before. But I actually think, just judging on my impression today and how I'm feeling and my mood, I think the 15 is probably my favourite between the two. I mean, maybe it'll change tomorrow, but yeah. I mean, have you tried any of the Glenfarclases next to each other? Maybe the 12 or of course any of the 20-year-olds? I'd love to hear what you thought comparatively. Definitely more of a sherry character coming out. But I mean, I think it suits Glenfarclas' spirit. Yeah. It has like a dry cherry. Oh, it's so difficult to describe the cherry flavour, but it's almost a bit like cherries and oranges and burnt toast all together. I would of course love to hear your thoughts, and of course if you like this video and haven't subscribed already, I'd of course be absolutely thrilled if you would consider subscribing and perhaps leaving a like. And of course I would be absolutely over the moon if you consider using my affiliate links the next time you're shopping with either Master Malt, the Whisky Exchange, or the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. I'm very excited to keep making videos, and I know there's going to be a lot of things coming out in December. It is of course a very busy year with lots of interesting whiskies. And as always, a massive thank you to my wonderful supporters on Patreon. I'm so grateful I have you guys. But I hope you've all had an absolutely wonderful day. Sláinte Skål.